Hi everyone, so in this next video I am going to be covering the idea that exercise is a punishment for what you ate and the harmful way of thinking about this, because exercise is a celebration of what your body can do. It's not a punishment for what you ate, and it's really important. I'm going to be covering why this way of thinking needs to end and other ways of thinking that could be very negative and impact you in a very negative way in terms of your negative self-talk, in terms of your mind, your physical and your overall goals. So tune in, as you know, to our next video where we'll discuss these elements even further. So exercise is not a punishment for what you ate. It's a celebration of what your body can do. Really think about that for a moment. Do we celebrate what our body can do for us? I think we take it a bit for granted. For example, are we always aware and thankful for the functioning systems in our body, our nervous system, the organs that are functioning, digesting, our function, we don't appreciate it until something goes a bit wrong, and then we're like, oh my God, I have appreciation. So appreciate it from now. And the idea that exercise is punishment for what you ate is a harmful, pervasive social construct that can have negative effects on your mental health and your overall well-being. It's amazing what movement can do for our mindset. Notice that you can start using the term movement if you want. If you're not into fitness and gymming, you can use movement versus exercise. And that little change alone can sometimes ease what might be feeling a bit heavy, what might feel like it has an expectation. Movement can be a bit lighter and maybe it feels a bit more pleasurable, joyful, because ultimately is the part of what it's movement. Ultimately, it is the part of what this can bring to your life. So there's joyful around it, there's pleasure around it. If you're finding the word exercise quite heavy, if you're not into fitness and gymming, you might find that that has a heavy expectation on it. So we can change that word for you to movement. Does that feel a little bit better? Now, one thing is change your mindset. So ways to overcome thinking that exercise is a punishment. One is change your mindset. It's amazing that what movement can do for us. Like I said, notice that you can change the word, like I mentioned, and hopefully that helps you. So that's one of the ones that I've just covered, changing your mindset as an example. The second one that I've got on my list is find forms of movement that you enjoy. When we do something that we don't enjoy, it's such a dread to start it. And then once you get into movement, there's a release of some feel-good hormones. There's that kick. It's a bit better, but really you're going to constantly dread it. So you need to find one that you enjoy. And that's why sometimes you'll find people that are gym goers or in the fitness, they move on to different stuff. Like some might do cardio for like a bit of time, some will do strength training, but then they break it up and they might do some mobility work or conditioning work or some yoga or more high intensity focus, whatever it is. There's a switch there. They might even go into karate or boxing, whatever it is, just because to the experiment with different forms of movement until you find something you enjoy and you break that cycle is really beneficial in terms of sustaining and also enjoying getting the movement in without thinking, again, it's a punishment. It can really help the focus away from external goals towards more something that's more of a pleasure and feels lighter. So number one, change the mindset. Number two, find movements that you enjoy. Number three, set different goals. I kind of went into this a little bit on number two, but with this is set different goals based on external, instead of setting different goals based on the external factors, like for example weight loss or changing your aesthetic or your appearance. Set realistic goals based on what you want to achieve through movement, how you want to feel. Maybe you want to improve strength or endurance, improved balance, whatever it is. Set different goals and that will help you. So that was number 3. Number 4, practice self-compassion. It's really important. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, and be gentle with yourself when you don't meet your goals. Remember that movement is just one aspect of your health and well-being, but it is a very big aspect, and it will make you feel a lot better within your mental space, your physical space, and that translates also the way you also then go about stuff in your external life. So number 5, was that number 4? Number 4 is practicing self-compassion. And I know that some of us can actually struggle with this, all right? So it's really important, especially if you're a perfectionist or you put high expectations on yourself. Number 5 is connecting with others. Now, if you saw my video on 7 key ways to avoid burnout, you'll find on the 7th one of the bonus points under the 7th one was finding a supportive environment. And this is very similar, connecting with others. Find a workout buddy, join a fitness class to connect with others who share your same interests, who find the pleasure in, for example, that spinning class. This can help provide the motivation, the support, the hype, and create a positive social environment around movement for you. And you will also feel very relatable to that environment as well. So that was number 5. Number 6, you need to challenge the self-talk when it comes up. When negative thoughts arise, challenge them with evidence-based counter arguments, okay? And you can do this alone. You don't have to let anyone know you're doing it so that they don't think you've lost some screws up there. But it's really important to do it. So for example, if you think I have to work because I've been eating so poorly lately, I've got to double down on cardio. Again, something I've mentioned in my videos. Challenge that thought by reminding yourself that movement is about celebrating your body, what your body can do for you, how it translates in your health, how it translates into your mental health, your overall health and well-being. So that's really important. That's 5. Did I do 5 or 6 then? I've lost count. I think I did 5, didn't I? Compassion was number 4. Oh no, connecting with others. I think I did 6. Whoa, we got 6 in there. So you're thinking around exercise being a punishment, or that I need to double down on triple exercise, 3 hours today because it was Lucy's birthday and we had a massive Cheesecake Factory cake, and on top of that someone had a great idea that we should have a dollop of ice cream as well, and it's the first time I've tried it and it was amazing, but it was really probably 1,000 calories above what I should have had that whole weekend. So then you're like, I need 3 hours extra this week in exercise. Who's been there? Most of us have if we're in fitness, but that is not the way to look at it. We need to celebrate our bodies before something goes wrong, before we get ill on something, before we catch a cold, before we have an injury. Celebrate what our body can do for us, our overall health and well-being, gratitude, self-compassion, positive self-talk. And here's why you're thinking of the punishment needs to end. Exercise is about celebrating what your body can do. Like I said, exercise is an opportunity to move your body, feel good, and celebrate what it can do. The perspective can help shift the focus away from external goals, and such as weight loss and aesthetics, to the positive benefits of exercise and mental, physical health. Then we said about negative self-talk. It can contribute to poor mental health. Thinking that exercise is a punishment can lead to negative self-talk and feelings of guilt and shame around exercise if your goals are not met. And that's why also just make sure you're putting realistic goals in place. When you're working with a coach, that is really good because they can make sure you're putting something realistic in terms of a time frame and in terms of what you want to achieve. Often I get people that want to work with me and they're like, I want this by tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow is a bit of an exaggeration, but basically, and I'm like, you know what, we can achieve this and I believe in you, but by this time frame, we can probably achieve this. By this time frame, we can achieve that. Working with you over 2 weeks, I will let you know precisely, because it also depends on what energy you are putting in and if you're following. So things take time, you know, and look at it from when you don't see the results. This actually reminds me of a video I did where it's the gym and fitness progressive checklist. Check that out because it's beyond what you see, beyond the mirror. It goes into other elements that will keep you motivated while you're doing exercise, while you're doing movement, to measure. I'm going to actually note that down. I wish... check that video out. I will also try to link it in the description box, but do check that out. It's called the gym or fitness progressive checklist. It's really important because it looks at things from other ways that you can actually check if you're progressing in terms of your fitness, exercise, whatever it is. So yeah, negative self-talk can contribute to poor mental health. And thinking of exercise in a negative way or putting those expectations around, for example, if you've overeaten, you need to train this much, or you need to go on a detox, or lemon, cayenne and hot water detox for a day. You know, there's a punishment element in that and you don't want to do that. It can contribute to the poor mental health outcomes such as depression, anxiety as well. And not only that, poor body image, poor self-esteem, poor self-confidence. You know, on that day you feel crap about yourself. So everything and everyone you interact with is not your self when you're coming from feeling great about yourself. It's very different if you've ever noticed. Excessive exercise can create excess stress, by the way. When exercise is seen as a punishment or a way to burn off calories, it can lead to excessive exercise that creates stress on your body. It can result in injury, it can result in overexhaustion, it can result in burnout, impaired immune function, and imbalanced hormones as well, because you elevating the stress hormones. And if you're a female, if you're doing it at a certain time in your cycle, it will impact you. It will even impact you in terms of you're trying to get pregnant, you know, so really just be sensible about that. Another one that I'm going to discuss is a focus on the external goals can be demotivating, which I mentioned in the 6 that we noted. So just mentioning that again, when exercise is seen as a means to an end, such as changing one's appearance, it's demotivating. And that's why I did that fitness progressive checklist video, because there's elements in that. Every point that I mention is not like the scale or the mirror. So it helps you feel a bit more motivated, because things can take time. It can be demotivating and make it difficult to stick with regular exercise routines when you're not seeing a change or what you want straight away. Focus on the positive benefits of exercise, like I said, and keep emphasizing your improved mood, your confidence, your energy, and it will all be more motivating in the long run, okay? So I've mentioned quite a few elements here, and they've crossed over from people around us, environments, what we want to do, not focusing on external, mental, mindset, negative self-talk, self-compassion, and setting the goals that are joyful for you, tweaking words. So I hope you found this helpful. We did that in less than 14 minutes. All that information. I think that's excellent. I probably should do what YouTubers do and go on a bit further. I could have probably dragged this out, but there's something about getting straight to the point, isn't there? Having said that, if you feel that I cover stuff in a very fast pace, whether I'm talking too fast and maybe I'm going into an element without explaining it enough, then I need to hear back from you, because obviously I'm reaching whoever sees my content, and I need that feedback from you is going to be beneficial and constructive for me. So do let me know. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. And what's the next topic? Stay tuned to see what we cover next. Bye for now.